Hey everyone, Andrew here, going live. The Arsenal win. What a terrific win. What an absolutely, I mean, it was an improvement on the Newcastle game, but I thought that, you know what? I'll wait for people to come live. Welcome. Waiting for more people to join. Darren, are you joining? What did you think of the game, Abdul? Comment. You reckon it was boring? You know, it was boring. No way, man. It was good. It was good. It was. I'm going to do a full review. I'm going to do a full review at some point on YouTube and TikTok. Because we're a small channel, we get more views with the smaller clips. But I don't feel like it was. Look, the first half wasn't great, clearly. Um, I mean, like I've said many times, it's the energy, man. It's the energy. It's the like we don't have the Manes and the Firminos, the Fabinho, the Hendersons, the Lalanas. Those are all hard pressing. Um, I guess the dog fighters, right? So we didn't. Slot also didn't want to press too hard. We're not. It's the days of heavy metal football are certainly long gone. I feel like though the second half was a big improvement. I definitely feel like the second half was um, a lot better. I feel like we had a bit more control of the game. I feel like again the defense was unbelievable. The transitions between the defense and the attack um, weren't that great. I thought that again like pressing high. Um, we didn't we didn't really press with any sense of urgency whatsoever. Um, but it's frustrating, and I don't know what it is. I don't know why Slot doesn't put on Negamol. Like what is literally stopping this guy from putting him on more often? You're right. The stop aside goal was an absolute cracker. Um, I mean, look. I mean, I heard some other channels like say that jealous Arsenal channels. Oh, if he did this 10 times, it would probably only go in once. I'm like, no chance. I mean, that was not once. I mean, out of 10 times, I don't think it wouldn't be 10%. So it was an absolute great goal. Arsenal, look, they didn't have Saka, which was good for us. They didn't have Saka. Now we're signing Isak. I think the second time we play Arsenal at the Emirates, I think that we're both going to be stronger, and I think it's going to be, it's going to be a cracking game. I think he's got to go for it probably at that point. You're right. The fixtures, um, the fixtures coming up, is a great opportunity to. I mean, Burnley, Everton, Palace. I mean, taking out the European games, you you definitely want to. You definitely win in those games if you want to win the Premier League. I mean, look, Everton's going to be, it's a derby. It's going to be a slog. Um, Arsenal formation, the players look defensive. Yes, absolutely. Um, I mean, they came to Anfield. They'll probably be thinking, we'll hit Liverpool on the counter. And I think now that I look at the game, I reckon the reason Slot was also hands off. I think it was thinking that Arsenal aren't going to come out and press either. So rather than us going 100 miles an hour and then getting hit on the counter, I think he was worried. I think he was worried about. He's probably worried about Martinelli. He's probably worried about Timber. He's probably obviously worried about Gyökeres. I think it was more setting up to be counter attack. Obviously, he probably thought Martinelli would have a bit more of a presence in the game. He didn't. Like Arsenal were good defensively. Liverpool was good defensively. It was a good game. It could have easily finished 0-0, but you know you can't take away anything from our fact that we won the game. And you can talk about who deserves it. I mean, Liverpool's not played well in any of the 3 games that we won. So I was worried after the Newcastle game. I think if we play like that, we're going to get smashed. And if we did play like that, we were going to get smashed. And we didn't play like that because, again, I heard the other Arsenal channels say, "Oh, well, Liverpool were lucky." I mean, what are you talking about? Like defensively, we were so sharp. We were so good. Canade was great. Van Dijk was great. And I think Kirkes, what we're not talking about, Kirkes had by far the best game for us. Best game. 100%. Kirkes was great. Stop us right back. Nothing wrong with our defense. Nothing wrong with our defense in that game. And I think that at the end of the day, you know, if you put, I think at the end of the day we deserve to win. So they can cry, they can talk about how Arteta wasn't that aggressive and blah 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 blah. If he went out there and was aggressive and got smashed, right, or they lost, the Arsenal fans would have been saying, "Oh, he wasn't pragmatic enough. He wasn't defensive enough. He was careless. He went out for the win. Blah blah. He was desperate. Like you can never win. Like then if he's hot, if he's trying to stay a bit more defensive and solid, which wasn't necessarily the wrong tactic. I mean, it was just the fact that look, I'm missing Saka. I think at the end of the day. You want more from Canado, Maka, Salah, Verts, Gakpo, Ekitike? Yes. But you got to, and like I said in my previous videos, which I think why you think this is the best Liverpool fan channel out there, thank you, is because, what was I going to say? Verts comes from the Bundesliga. He had time. He was dominating the game. He had time on the ball. Against Newcastle, Verts must have came off the field and went, where the hell am I? Like, he had no time on the ball. You've got to know you're 3 or 4 steps ahead before you get the ball. And I think it's going to take a bit of adaptation. It's going to take a bit of time. There's no question that he's powerful, that he's great on the ball, that he moves the ball around. Look, same thing with Ekitike. Ekitike is 22 years old. He's already scored 2 goals. Look, Klopp knows he wants to push him more, so we just got to wait. Like, if you're hoping for the Manes and for the Bobby Firminos, the hard press, I don't think you're going to get that from pretty much anybody. It's just not happening. Yeah, look, I think Verts and Canada would be okay. I think Verts is probably just more of a dead leg. Canada is a bit worrying. Hopefully, if we get Guehi, whatever. Like I said, and like you pointed out, Gomez came on, did very well. So I don't actually think that he did, all that badly either. So for me, I still think we need a left winger. Like, who else do you think we should sign? Abdul, do you think we should sign a winger? Do you think we should sign another centre midfielder? Yeah, of course, Vert has to prove himself at Liverpool. It's no question about that. But what you got to understand is too that the Bundesliga is not the Premier League. The Premier League is the hardest, most aggressive league in the world, and you've got to be patient with these things. Sometimes these players take time. Look, I know we all love the Suarez's that come in and from day one are brilliant, but that doesn't always happen. And just because, and we spent 110 million on him. What you got to understand is too, we bought a player for the next 5-6 years minimum, right? So it's 110 million, but you got to also understand, like, this team now is transitioning into a slot team from a Klopp team. So the fact, look, we got 3 wins, and look, I'm very impatient. Like, I think we should have. I still think we needed a DM. I still think we needed a defensive midfielder. I still think we needed that. Yep, English football is physical, technical, fast, quick, and no time on the ball. Correct, 100%. And that's why Ekitike, he's going up against some of the biggest defenders, some of the best defenders in the world, some of the biggest, most brutal defenders. He's not used to that. He's just, he's 22 years old. I mean, the guy's still a kid. And when we sign Isak, he's still not a left winger player. He's not a left winger. He's not a right winger. he's down the wing. I mean, I don't know. Like, I still think it'd be interesting if we can get Rodrigo on a loan deal. But again, Rodrigo, if we do get him, I mean, there's no more talk about it anymore. If we got a Rodrigo, again, you're not getting that Mane level pressing. But if you get but that's not necessarily a big requirement with the way in which Slot plays with his two, pivot in midfield with McAllister and Gravenberch. But if McAllister or Gravenberch get injured, who do you replace them with? Jones? Endo? That's what scares me, that we've got a lot of games and those two positions are very important for the Slot team. And obviously, look, you probably put Slot in there 100%. It is what it is. I mean, I always said Ekitike replaced Jota, Isak has replaced Nunez, but tell me, who's replaced Diaz? And again, Diaz was that high pace, fast pace, down the wing, aggressive. I think, to me, I don't care what any other fan thinks. I still believe that Diaz is the most underrated player we've had. I don't know why he's got such a hard time. I don't get it. Why did he get such a hard time? So I don't think there's going to be any other signings other than Isak and Guehi. I don't see it happening. We'll keep a close eye on the Liverpool transfers as they roll in. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be really, really interesting. I don't see any other transfers. Do you see any other transfers? I don't. I don't see any other transfers. Abdul, I don't. I mean, Guehi, did you see the goal he scored? He scored a cracking goal for Crystal Palace. If that goal was from Salah, we'd be talking about it in the news like nonstop. It was a cracker. You want a centre defensive midfielder? Yeah. I agree. I 100% agree. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen this transfer. It might happen in January. It might if we have an injury, but that's not happening. That's not happening. I mean, we've never been linked with anyone in that position. Well, we're going to wrap up Guehi and Isak. I mean, that's pretty much it. There's no time for anybody else. And I still think we haven't replaced Diaz. I mean, people talk about the amount of money we've spent. What about all the players that we've lost? Okay, we lost Jota. It was tragic. He would still be in the club if he didn't die, right? That's obvious. But we got rid of Kwanzaa. We got rid of Diaz. We got Trent Alexander-Arnold's gone. Simicast is gone. I know Kirk is there. Frimpong is there. Nunez, I don't know. I feel like we need at least a winger and I reckon a winger and a centre defensive midfielder. Done. But we've never been linked with anybody at all in that centre defensive midfielder position. Nobody. So I don't think that's happening, mate. Don't think that's happening. I don't see it happening. I can't. Gravenberch, Macca, and Wirtz look weak together. Look, it's not that they look weak together. Gravenberch and Macca, I think Macca's still coming back from fitness. Honestly, I think Gravenberch had a pretty decent game against Arsenal. Macca didn't. And every time they got the ball, every single time they got the ball to go forward, Macca lost it. Ekitike lost it. Gakpo lost it. And it was so frustrating. He's like, we'll string passes together in our own half. As soon as we went forward, the amount of times we gave the ball away in that game, that was the most disappointing. When I was watching the game, that was the most disappointing thing for me, more than anything, was the fact of how often we gave the ball back from whether forced or unforced errors. Look, Endo is just going to be like, you don't get rid of him. He's not really costing the club hardly anything to keep him. He's a good squad player. You got Jones and Endo. They're not signing any centre defensive midfielder. I think we still need one. I still think we missed out on it. Imagine if we signed Zubimendi before we knew how good Gravenberch would be. So then you've got cover. Then you can probably just get rid of Jones and keep that Zubimendi, keep that Macca, Gravenberch. But because Gravenberch came in, played so well, we never end up signing anybody in that position, and we still haven't signed anyone in that position, and I don't think we will sign anyone in that position, not this season anyway. I think we need a left wing, right wing. Have you seen anyone that we link to other than Rodrigo? Let me type in Rodrigo LFC. I don't think he's coming. I don't think he's coming. I don't see it. There's no news about it. I don't think Alonso is not necessarily wanting to get rid of him. It sucks, but it looks like that we're not going to get anybody in that position. I mean, what I don't understand is we don't have fast wingers anymore. Salah's not fast anymore. Salah had a really bad game. That was a horrible game. He didn't do one decent tackle in that entire game. Like, none. He didn't do a good tackle. He didn't do a good pass. He didn't do a good dribble. He didn't even do a good shot on goal. What did he do? He was just there for no reason. I'm sure if Egamoa came on, Nugamoa Rio, he would have done a lot more than Salah that game. But, Slot's got his bias. You can't take off Salah. Can never take off Salah. Can never take off Gakpo. He took off Gakpo, but you know what I mean. But Gakpo has to be dead, basically, before he takes him off. I call Dutch bias. Sorry, I'm getting hit with a cold at the moment. So Alexander Isak will now accept 130 million. Well, not Isak will accept it. It's Newcastle will accept 130 million pounds. No further signing needed. I don't think I agree with that. But now you got Rio Egumoa. Maybe that's why they're not going to do it. Maybe that's why they're not going to do it. So that looks like, and obviously, signing Isak, I think that's more or less the done deal. That will probably be wrapped up in a few hours. I'm sure he's going to. I mean, I'm sure that's going to be wrapped up very, very soon. In Australian money, that's a $268 million transfer. That's a lot of money. What did Ben Jacobs have to say? Anyone else is linked? Good old Benny boy. No. Yeah, Jacob Dance. That's a good call, man. Look, Stefan Bajcetic, Kyler Gordon. Well, the other boys are clearly not in Slot's plans. Now, the one that I don't understand out of that group, like Bajcetic, I mean, Slot doesn't like him. That's it. Klopp will give players a chance, like the younger players, much more often. I mean, the way in which Klopp played, he probably had to give. He had to have a larger squad because it was relentless football. Slot isn't. He actually said he wants a small squad. So because he wants a small squad, there's no actual reason for him to want to even give the youth that much of a chance, right? So I don't know where the hell Bajcetic is. I've got no clue. I know he was like linked to Real Madrid or something at one point. Like it was like linked to a big move to Spain. The other one, look, out of all that whole list that you said, Abdul, the one that I don't understand is Jaden Dance. I don't know. Jaden Dance scored some good goals from the time that he played. If Klopp was still here, Jaden Dance would still be in the squad. Jaden Dance would be in the match day squad, without doubt. Caden Gordon, Luke Chambers, I mean, I don't know. He's probably going to use them for Carabao Cup. He's probably going to build a Carabao Cup team with with fringe players from the first team and like pretty much the youth team. He might. I don't know. He, like I said, he does like to work with a very small squad, but I don't know. Does he expect like 14, 15, 16 players to play every single game of the season? I don't know. And like again, to me, he brought on Chiesa, and I'm thinking, I like Chiesa. I like him. I want him to do well, but I don't know what is it. That 16-year-old has literally scored in every game he's played. Chiesa scored in Bournemouth. Egamoa scores in Newcastle and scores the winner and doesn't come on. I don't understand. I don't understand. I really don't. Abdul. Oh, we've got Southampton in the EFL Cup third round, do we? Well, that's probably going to be the game. That's probably going to be the game that that he's going to throw on those kids. 100%. That's what I reckon. 100%. Yep, we've got the worst Champions League group of them all. But if we progress out of that group, then we have to be one of the favourites to win the Champions League. I mean, that's going to be a tough group. That's a tough group of teams now. Atletico, Real Madrid, Inter Milan. I don't know the other team you said, but those. When I saw the group, it looked rough. It looks rough. I don't know, mate. It's going to be ruthless. It is going to be ruthless. Yes, it is. 100% ruthless. Burnley, Everton, Palace, Chelsea, Man United. Well, there's 3, 6, 9. It should be a guaranteed 12 points there. Chelsea will be the most difficult. We should have no problem beating United, no problem beating Palace. We should beat Everton. It'll be a scrap, but we should win, and we should definitely, without hesitation, beat Burnley. Don't worry, Abdul. It's happening. Guehi, and Isak will sign today. Don't worry about it. Guarantee. I promise you. If they don't, then you can give me a snap. You can give me a super chat for $2. You can give me the super chat if they don't. Look, I'm promising you now, my friend, they will sign. They will sign. I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about that. They're definitely going to sign, mate. They're definitely going to sign. They're definitely going to sign. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's a wrap. So Isak will sign. Guehi will sign. The game against Arsenal was lucky. But in the end, we won it. So it doesn't really make any difference. And Abdul, if you haven't subscribed, please do. And I'll be releasing many, many more YouTube shorts coming real soon. Thanks a lot, guys. You have a lovely evening.